Could you test the microphone of the witness, please? Yes, is it okay?
Yes, it is.
Could you test it? Is it okay, the microphone of the witness?
No, like this.
Could you say something, Mr. Kambi?
Very low.
The usher, Mr. Kambi, say something?
Hello, like this. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you, but I don't know whether the distortion is as good as we want it to be. Say something else again. Repeat after me, Kambi. How are you?
How are you?
You feeling better this morning?
You feeling better this morning?
I guess we can go. It's good to go.
Yeah.
Interpreters, are we good to go?
Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Witness, before we had that little technical glitch, I asked you what the President's pronouncement caused your program. What effect did it have on your program in January 2007? Thank you.
Selo jannin nyin kole andume damuta ni nyinin ka nyinna ko president e kankularo ke ko January 2007 o sangola wulta ko atesinyi jankaro kende andi nole bidate yo kankularo ke wemu ku fason sababu ita atilla jararo do ko nyinna karola.
Indeed, it had some general effect from the other units of the HIV treatment program. Patients moved onto the alternative treatment.
Kulle sababu men yalon ko keta kuluti men yalon ko adu keta du yotolti kadu muna natake sa tolu men yalon ko bentella jararo karola inata bo sawun amunta itata dum wo jaral façon doto men keta president la wo jaral siloti e botante la karola amunta sawunta wo jararo la karola.
One of the areas that were significantly affected
fannalu kono ay damen ko leande baake fan bunda kilimbi je me yalon ko ayo bunda ma baakele.
There were about 20 or more patients left the national HIV treatment program off to the alternative therapy.
Membita fo muam wala mensi siawoti wala dabo ntella jararo karola tubabu jararo la karola ita takafu president la jaral silo nyin kono ye dabo la woto.
Sorry. Part of that created some element of what we call non-adherent to ARVs, propofol, and other associated complications.
Okono ana mune sabu wari yetubabu boro mo bula ya marolu fanalu bula le tubabu bori moni ya marolu menu kata nyola yolu be bula le wonata mune sabu amunta sala senkam wulo ka wajabi amunta wonata wala nati programu nyin kono anin jararo la sino kamola.
Can you tell us, as far as you know, why did they leave the conventional treatment that you were offering to go to the president's program?
Saying itala mira roto mulana ibuta tubabu jararo siloto kata idabu la president la jarale silo nyinto itala mira roto mun dalila le bakoma ite aje nyami.
Some of the explanations we got after some of them returned was, well, you had told me in your preparation for me to start at that the medicines you're giving me cannot cure me. And I heard there is a cure somewhere.
Saying, Mayo Sabu, bring Talabadula Atella Jararo Carola, Katu Brita Hanfo Dolumurutanang, Yemen Satan Toli, William Intinia, and Telatuba Jararo Silo Bula. Iba damu tala tumeme na ngine fo yanko ha ntalla borolu iba offician de la bari itali kende yandi nola ite buji sasa kende yandi nola bari birina ta moy president way kankularo kako atebe ni sasa ba kende yandi nola le udalilu ya sabundul fananu sawunda katuna ni jikiko woto wayri atebe kende yandi le woto mbaduna taje ni atalu ba offician de la bari alta kende yandi nola memba kende yandi la mbaduna ta woto.
In essence, you're telling us that they left your treatment in search for a cure, which was offered by the president.
Amonte benye foka nyenko ida bondi atella jara roto nyine kamako ibe jikirinko ibitaka fula damin wobe kende yandilale.
Yes.
Did you encounter, don't mention any names, did you encounter any of these people again?
Nyimolu kana moto fode bari fo mo sunantale ikono menu nata alnina ta noje wala alni futata nyoma kota ke bang.
Yes.
Indeed.
Tell us about it.
Awu fanan Kenya fo nyabang.
After a year or two,
birin sanji killing fo sanji fula tambita,
a couple of persons returned
molu be ko mo fula nyon kata wonyon wonu muruta nanne.
And the process required was to find out where they were, what happened, and on what basis, and whether they would still consent to continue what was initiated at the treatment center.
Sa embri muruta nan na hajo ketanyineti ibe mintole nu ibe mune kono nu ibe mune kekan nu biri botante la jara roto andu be mun jaral fason le takan nu anin fala nyim mururan nu wari muruta nan foy be sonnale ko ibada mutala tumo men ni sartolu men fo foy parete le ka sonwo sartol la kamuru kan na tamando nyama ni biri muruta nan o kachaketa nu ngoleti.
What was the state of their health when they returned?
Biri muruta nan ila jata kandea ila cross rota betembe nyadi le wotumo.
Some of the patients who returned to the clinic certainly had shown some significant weight loss, developed what we call opportunistic infections, and some complaints of opportunistic infections in terms of diarrhea and vomiting and cough. These were all, we had the advantage that before they left, they were being regularly monitored in terms of weight, CD4, and other parameters. And on return, the records were still showing if you've lost weight, if you've come back with OIs, or with other complications.
Sa imbrinyi molu muruta nan na korosi roto jamabe kolomeni alonko ibalo borta bak faida ila kulia talata amanda ngola yin sasa kotangulu soto opportunistic infections sasa kotangulu soto meni yemuta meni alonko tumunu follow hotela o sasa luko urukorora mindiko dole kono bayo soto anum fono kata to andu ila CD4 wolu mukuleti mani alon ko wajabita andum wolu fanalu kono koma fu nyamin ila kulia bala jata kulia atala batale wolu dol kitab talati mani alon ko aboyta nyimuru kambri muruta nan korosiroto.
In your statement, you said when they left in 2007, I'm looking at paragraph 8, you said there was not much we could do other than hope that some sense prevails and they will return for treatment?
Biribe bola je tumo menna ila fangola kuma kan safaro mbole jibe kanten ila sappa sayinja mo paragraph 8 yo adun wenyine itandi ko mbe jikirin ko fo nyatonto ikakilolu sina muru ifangolo simira ye jero keko kule mnyinti meya lonko sayinga kitatenne yo adun satara fananko isina murunnan purkana tenten ila jararo la men fulo mun yo adun fanan brina ta murunnan fanan la wajiko wala soto non ko wari muruta nan sila moto fereti je fo jararo tenten.
What did you mean when you said you hope that common sense would prevail and they would return for treatment? What were you insinuating?
Ila kumo koto kafoko na mirako nyilubina hakilo bina jero kelale kana tentanin ibe murula nanne ni muruta nan tunandolu wokono nsina jube mbe senka mako ila nyamin ila nyin jara rola karola prasi tenten ila kumo koto mun.
Well, most of the patients who left did not clear with us, did not inform us that we were going. We were hearing from colleagues, nurses, from other partners, but X is not coming, he or she is on the other side.
Bit bitala. Jamabe kono man saranna. Mambo ila takalama. Barindo kunyolu anil noso ludulu. Nka nyimbo wala la kafuko ha kari fulana de ate manna man kari falanje. Yo adun otumolo na lonko nyilbu molleti manu ya lonko manna kotake yeda bonna jararo silotole. E wodali wonyale mu na lonko wulu amunta ultata karado lawotumo.
The statement I interpret could be that, or is that, well, you have been convinced outright that there is a cure on the other side, and you've gone. But hopefully, along the way, you will appreciate that our treatment, the clinic treatment, care and support, will be far more better than what you've been receiving so far. And common sense will prevail.
Saying between the Lajero Munetiko. Itatale. But between the telephone bina generally sinin Samoko. Until Katuba Jararo Menkeye. William Jararo to Memphisiata. Mayalon Kowale in Makoi. Alhakat. But between Silang. Atute Famulu Bulu. Puri fulu fanale jerike ifaye idundamento ibe menkono abina lala nyamin bitu kono njikita ko tumodo na meta ikakino be murula nanne ifangulu be jerike la ifaye pour kana murunan ye membula non pour kana sayo kanko take.
I thought the witness did say that what they have gone to, they have been lured into believing that there is a cure. But they would soon realize that there is no cure, and what we are giving them is in fact better. Isn't that what the witness said?
Yes.
Could that be interpreted?
Amunda sebe memfukola mindiko britata ndelangaje ko silan italijikita ko ibitada men ibe kende yandilale bar bitu ning itata han fo sila dunta ko no sayin ko yoji ko men soto ko ibe kende yalale bar nim mawna wo kende yaro soto man kende yalo jararo silola woto fereti je ibalona ko yenenele pour yeta dum ku kono me yalon ko amanke ku soto roti wo kono ni fangol hakilo muruta nan woto ibe jelale andu ibna sela nanne ka foko itata damin jararo le me yalon ko te kende asoto naje yenenele.
For those people who returned to your program, Did you test them again to determine their status?
Well, men starta inata murunna. Saying alnate kotobole banka ajube ila sasabe tembra jumalto.
Yes, indeed. If you return to the clinic and taking the protocol, your consent is sought again to be retested and to be taken through all the processes and the preparation of reinitiating you into art.
Saying bili muruta nan kotake fonge kotobo kotake na jube ila sasabe tembeda jumaleto adungo faye kenyama me yalon ko parendiro lumenu nyanta kala nyanta tarambulo lumenu tala nyanta kotoboro lumenu bekela fongo lubeke nyi moliye pour un salon e nyulbe tembo mento ila kobe lari nyi nyalema isaje o parendiro lumenu nyanta kala pour que imurundi boro tala silo kan no parendiro leta wala ni sayin kan kotobo yin kammala salon ila kolube tembeda jumaleto andu fanan fongi fonglu nyininka ke sondi hanu fo ni fonglu la kangosoto ko ha sontale mbe murula nyin jararo kan
what was the status of all those people who came back to your program and you retested them?
Wongolu menu muruta nan kalu saynan alla programu nyin kono ale menu kotobo wotembo brali kotobo alnate la kulu tara lari nyaaju malema.
All those patients who returned and consented to a repeat HIV test were found still to be HIV positive. Remain HIV positive.
Nyimenu be tata hanfu imruta nan bringe sayin kan kotobo ntata tara ko nyilu be hanim bi HIV jankar keso be ibalale amanke ko ikande atade jankar keso lu nyilu be balale andu abe bala nyame nyama fisia man soto akonyin kono ni tara wala nyama.
Did they come back to you in better health conditions than when they left?
Bri bitala isairimu nan wotumo ila jata kendea abetembe jumalto bitatu mo melna ila jata kendea abetembo men ani mururi nan wati jumala mo ila jata kendea fisiyata nun kendeke.
From the available records in hand, these patients were significantly poorer health-wise from the time they left and from the time they returned. They were in poor health. One of the fixed until today remains one of such patients had a clinical advanced disease, what we call PPE, pleuritic papular eruption. This is a classical sign of advanced HIV disease.
Bring molu murutanan, bring a kotobo, natara ibitatu momen, wato lam ila jata kende abe fisiaring. Bar biri saitanan, natara ila jata kende a nasita bake a saita koma. Usasa to mufonu kono klimbije, me ya lonko, ala kota ta fafuta ta temboto, ikafu meye PPA. Wole mnyintiko, ala sasa asanara wajabitale, hanufu atatafuta tembelato, me ya lonko ayakulu kole andi atefongu mario bulubake, ala sasa be wajabirini.
Would you say that leaving the conventional treatment where you offered a good, stable, healthy life as compared to moving on to the promised cure by Jammeh. How would you compare the two? Was it a wise decision for your patients to leave your program to go to the promised cure?
Saying, Nimolu meni alonko ye dabunum alajara rosiloto. Ila kuna tala nyamin biri tata, hanufo biri muruta nan. Say benyin kufulolu lala nyadi le purke balance. Nying ye nene purke sambaka fo enko. Alibe kende alale. O kende a meye samba, bitun sila anataka kuti ko ye nene le ku soto balolem. Say nying kufulo ibe lala nyadi le ka balance. Jumale kilim beteyata. Watu me batella ni jara roko no menkete tubabu jara roti ani watu men itata o President jara roto.
Well, as I have stated earlier, we were with the records before they left, after they rejoined us. That alone showed us what has happened, their failure. They were failing in health, including the CD4 markers, which is an indication of your level of infection.
Saying a kaiti safari no bentele bulule me ya lonko e ka folle records nga menu safe ke ilandi ibitatu momen ani muruta na nyamin won be safari no be kerenne bare beto niaju be yin mururi wonan ila kurawno wajabitale kato hawtuno hanila CD4 kunyale be tembo mento wayatara asangara tabakele andu wotembo elaw jankarolo be tembo mento tumo ayela sasalu aya wajabindile ila kulu nasitale kajiduma.
One of the areas they always say was, well, if you are promised, you have to go. Much more, you know, he's the head of the state. Number two, despite all the challenges, we appreciate your receiving us back and accommodating us, which was part of our rule. You can go in, you can go out, but you must consent and you must adhere, which may re-emphasize adhere to treatment with all these protocols.
Saying, ntelu, ntata, kuma kamale yen samba. Sako mume ya lonko tembo atelom presidenti. Wada lilole ya kende ntata, barabitu weri muruta nang. Alisonta, purunga muruna ngadun jara rokono. Umukule time ya lonko, anyinyata. Weri alienji ya koteke, puruka muruni jara ro silokan, umukule time ya lonko. Hanimbi abetata ntolfanal fele, mbetentena na jara rola, katwa munda meya kende ntata nung, akatanteli filibante ya quality. Yo adum silambe parelale mfangulu sonta nanganiyo kang purka continue jara rola. Adum sewota pur alienji ya koteke.
The promised cure, from the evidence that you have seen, was it a cure or was it a hoax?
Itela jeroto ye la hidi kende ya menna sayo kende ya manna soto sayo itela jeroto munem amunta nene rolem kuma soto balolem bang fo ite yaje nuba fo lola iba satanola munyalema.
From our clinical point of view, it was a promise, not confirmed by being cured, and along with it, you picked up complications related to your disease.
Nyimukule time yalongo italutata la hido le kan wala hido mumuneti wala nyindi ko albe kende yalale yo baribiri tata silang yo kende ya manna soto mune nata le kanje sasa kotangulu dunta ila kulu kono menna tay batandi andu ila jankaro ila sasa lu fangulu ibe menjara kamulu fulu nata wajabi wala nata ke kuti ya menje kuwenyin kono men late kan.
Was it a cure or was it a hoax?
It was not a cure.
Amanke kende andilanti.
So the promise for a cure was a hoax.
La hido mentata kwa libe kende ala kusoto balolem.
It was false.
It was false.
Wala mintiko kusoto balolem.
In fact, you participated in a number of training programs in the country in which you categorically stated several times that there was no cure for HIV/AIDS. Is that right?
Sai ita fona tamabe program jamal leto meneketa bamulu ni jara rolti. Andu ilaw bamulu jara rolu kono ane wakachalu kono programu kono anin nindir programu menno keta yenyi senayandi jela ko nyim mambor soto kende andirte nyin ko kono amunta kule me yalon ko kulo menketa ko ke baloti.
Yes, indeed, I was involved as a team leader, as a trainer, amongst with my other team members of the facilitations. I had always, during such trainings, used the opportunity to emphasize that so far, from that time until today, there is no known cure for HIV so far.
Tonya, ma beta karandil benjamal leto anim programul. Bari wati nak makamulu kono. Nka nyine bambandi je ko. Mbetembo mento nyin jankaro. Kende yandilantala. Kende yandi bunda mansoto aburo mansoto folo memba kende yandila. Nka wasene yandila nga bambandi u programul beto pour mulu safa hamno wonya.
But the professional bodies that regulated the practice of medicine, were they aware that there was no cure for HIV/AIDS?
Saying, lona bundalu, anim buhabulu, many along ko ibroba ko kolonu. Well, fanano foi botakala malako halimbi, nyim jankaro, fenti je me yalon ka kende and man sort of follow.
Indeed, one of such professional bodies is the association I'm a member of, and also the council that oversees service delivery, medical practitioners service delivery. They were aware.
Saying, Tonyale mtefango kubo do kola, do kubunda menna, anin kafo men keta jara la lonna la kafoti, wul fanalu be buta kalamale. Kafo ko hanim bi, nyin kurango. Femman soto fulo men sa kende andi. Ibe buta kalamale.
Did any of those organizations complain about what was happening?
O kafo dum kafo soto te kono le bang. Meni alon ko iwa sita. Wala kala miroke ko membe ke kanun kafo ko amanyan kala.
I can't remember reading or listening to any of these bodies providing a statement to members or seen it or heard it during this period.
Ndefo kude hakilo mamuta kafo ko nyin kafu kari wala nyin bunda kari wala nyin mo kari nyolu wasita nyin kola le ko nyin manyan kala woto hanim bi kulum nyinti me yalon ko mambu wa kalama maje mamoyi andum mo man kuma funtindi ala koto kafo ko abeten mambu wa kalama mamoyi maje.
But you continued to mention in workshops and in training programs, you continued to oppose the PATP. Is that right?
But Islam hanim bi ita continentally kela balamba ya ita ni PATP program wala president ni jaral program wala fodon ko ni to nyala modi bayla o balama continue ta wala nyama.
Yes, indeed. My concern was science was contrary to what was being portrayed.
Tonya o continue ta le no balambaya katu luka londo yemme yitandi wo yenyine yitandi ko membe ke kan non wonin tonya momenti fatatale luka londo la yitandi roto wo jaral façon wotanyi sasa kende andinola.
But in spite of all that, the organization you represented was being bad-mouthed by people who previously attended your treatment programs.
Indeed, that's what happened.
In paragraph 18 of your statement, you said as follows, quote, the amount of people that attended our medical facility for treatment significantly reduced. The PATP changed people's perception on our organization. People began to think that our treatment was not effective because we always told people that there was no cure. So they began to think that our treatment was not effective because we always told people that there was no cure for HIV. The PATP made people dispute what we were telling them and thought that we were in fact not telling the truth.
Sayo, ile kuma safari ko statement oni sapatang ani sayin jango paragraph 18 yenyi ne foje ko nyim PATP molu soton tale men ya lon ko ya foko wo bi president wa jaral programme wo ilata wolela nyim mira fanko atella jararo nyin me ya lon ko albake kan nafatala alte molu kende andi nola wala ya sabu molu jisolu molu ngani yulu falinda katu alkanyina fayen ko nyim jankaro man jaral lan soto folo men sa kende andi wari alkawla fo iye jamaay nyim muta ko woto tellaw jararo men bala albake kan nafatala almandara to nya fo kan iye jamaayo le mira wari tellata nyina ko wari o jaral bunda do nyina foko boro bi jele men bala kende andi la wala no mbolo nata hakilo bo telu kan.
Indeed, that's what happened. We had a temporal significant drop in members of patients registering or continuing to adhere to their treatment, coming to the clinic. That was significantly dropped.
Where sabu mulu menu kana safe ani menu kajara ronta antolia isembo tala baba tale katu ko lata nyamin modali lo ya sabu lan nabali adunta ko nyin kono han fo jama muruta koma wala na mume yirko kana kasafen to liya nin ka jara rota italata baba kele.
You said it was a temporal significant drop. Why do you say it was temporal?
Yanyin foko awati male keta wuce sotonda wuce me yalon ko nyin tala keta wo wuce ole muna na ya foko awati wuce ole mu wuce o muna na yo wuce o fuje.
The temporal refer to for almost a year or so, when common sense prevailed. Episodes from what we've been hearing, some of them were dying in there, some of them were having serious complications. That trend changed gradually, and as some of the patients returned at the end of their being discharged, declared cured, that is what I meant temporal.
Niaje no kwaka mfuje mko ucholem temporal. Kato ngolu menu tata wajara lisilado nyinkan. Kibano nata findi jamabe kono. Dolu be fakan andu ya foko yolu jarale fo ikendeata bare nata je ko dolu be ko menu be fakan ila kurawlu be wajabi kan ila kulu be nasi kan hanfo nyina nata sabu dolu nata murun nan tolu kan wala nan ko wicelo ngabita hanfo sanji kilo ma famala wato men molu talata menu kanan tolu ya menu ka register a talata wala nan ko wicewlem ba bring saya siata je anin kende abali afanan kontinere je udalilo nata kendi murutana
may I add that it looked a little bit abnormal. Patients who were tested consented to be tested and results being delivered post-test consent. We realized numbers out of these persons were just saying, okay, I'm going for alternative therapy. In spite of we offering them treatment care and support and all the advantages, including educational, nutritional, and social support.
Nimmolu mani alonko idun tantu lajara roto tembo biri nyim ko mamanta jamabe ko no ka fa mbe bola janne mbita dun no jaral sila doto yo adu yatara ni ajube ntelba jara ro samba kanyamin nka jara ro ni ku jamal le samba nyola nke makoy kabrin lundo la karola footballo la karola parendiro la karola ani makoy kotelo men nke dila ngawlu beke nyimmolie baro nyawnyanding imanna way hakilo burundi kan e gabondin to lajara roto itata bare manna ke kutime jamawati.
At the end of the day, they all lost something, correct?
Ko bandulato amunta akete itulube foleti mem koto nata ken nimisoti la karola.
They all lost in terms of comprehensive management of HIV.
Amunta ibe fota jara ro toputo nya saharolela me yalon ko le nyanta kala HIV jankarola karola.
Their health conditions deteriorated.
Ila jata kende alu nasita kendeke.
Yes.
The cure they were promised remained elusive.
Yela hidi kende amenna wa manna sotono.
Yes, indeed.
They did not have or receive effective treatment, correct?
Manna jara sahari o soto me yalon ko e wala nyanta itiluma ilaw sasato.
Yes, indeed.
They were misled into believing the impossible at the moment.
Ye filindi ke landi kula me yalon ko ate kenola wotembo.
They were seriously misled.
Ye filindi ya jaw.
Ultimately, many of them returned to you for better care.
Birobe botala labamala jama be kono imuruta nan koteke atelu kan pour essayer topoto sahari no soto.
How did you feel as a person who was giving care to these people from 1991? Suddenly, our president appeared with a bag of herbs and gave false hope to a good segment of our society who needed support, who were vulnerable to the disease that they carried at that time. How did you feel in all this?
Ite yenyin ko beta nyadile albenyino topoto kangal be jaral kendo di kan ila membe mako kan no dumo ke fisiyandi nya kilo nyama president nata findinan aning mo fum boro mem boto famu ye dabo atilla jaral amunta silan inata dum jaral karo menno je amanna kay nafati ima yirwa sotonje imanta nyato sotonje anata ke menti wala minti ko aketa kuke baloleti itel fongol la karola sai be keta nyamen ite yata nyaadile yaje nyaadile halfu la bama nata mural kanna.
We felt disappointed. The National HIV program was a national government-led, sponsored by the Global Fund, and NAS was one of the principal recipients, and NAS was directly under the President's office, and such a program, such a disease, to be used as a not so for better use, for a better word.
Just say it.
Being used as a way of being on another platform, internationally or nationally, and really misleading people who are very vulnerable.
Sai amunda ko ni jararo programu mun banko la programu leti me yalon ko man sakunda le bulo ba ko adun o kono na fulu bunda me yalon ko wala kanyin ko depends ka fu bunda me global fund wala ba akonyi tamandi kanka depends adun a programu membe bunda men fanam bulu wala national aid secretariat NAS wala ba kono adu nas be president of la office la koton ngo tembo wadalilo le ya sabu amunta ibe mantoro la kam molle kan men ya lon ko sembetela e imantara isawoto amunta silan yo mo fawlu fanalu filimbi pour ka e dundin ko to me ya lon ko alla mo nata kay mantoro lati andu kono dépense ko men ya lon ko anyanta tamala je amunta ibe muna fankan yillela ko itelu be lori bunda koten le kan me ya lon ko men ba ago ko ke kan ibe to nyini wala ko nyin kono bari amanka kuti me ya lon ko kusutulo.
Final question.
Would
you say that the promise to these people that they were going to be cured of HIV/AIDS was criminal? Would you say that?
Sa ibengon falako la hido men ditani la ko ibe kende alale woto kumakam musafo no kujaw kumole mwoti kujaw kewle mwoti malon sayin fo ibole falaban.
I would agree with that in terms of delayed treatment, more complications, and outcomes are eventually very poor. That is what happened to some of these very vulnerable and misled persons.
Mba fala wala nyama mbeso nako wala mkumo nyindi katu ila jararo tardeta nyimulu nata batada taki me yalon ko ila kulu nasita wonya andu la hido men ditela ama na keno wonya woto anataka kuliti bulu men nataka mantoro dati nyimulu men yalon ko ila fansambo sembo mantare fangulu bulu amunta ila kulu taradendi la jararo saita koma ila kulu nasita.
I have no further questions, Madam Chair. Thank you very much, Mr. Witness.
Council ko barabake selo.
Thank you, Lead Counsel. Thank you, Witness. Commissioners, do you have any questions? Okay. Commissioner Kente.
Thank you very much, Witness, for a very fruitful deliberation.
Commissioner Kente ko barabake selo ye kuma kan saharu banke jang.
Manika kamata ala nyindula to follow because manika kamata fota tubabu kamata fota jang aman senkan do manika kamata ka ko indi moyla dol mo kumata.
I want to speak in Mandinka because there were certain things that were not very clearly said in the Mandinka language.
Niko opportunistic diseases.
When you say opportunistic diseases,
these
are the diseases that come along the way.
Urawol meni ala buka wuli fangola dimola bare buka kudute fangola dimola foni dimi ko tembe dunding.
These are the diseases that don't come on their own, they come as a result of other diseases being present.
HIV kamola jatola kelerangole sembo doyandi.
As HIV will weaken the immune system of a human being,
nae wala sembo doyake wanyadum wala kasilodi wanyadum kurangola yedum menube ko TB, diarrhea, vomiting and ammonia.
and when the immune system is weakened, that is when it gives opportunities to other diseases like TB and other infections to infect the person.
Now I'm turning to witness. We've been told that patients may reach a certain level where they can, because they cannot transmit the disease, they can marry.
Sasa tolu ni burul tai katafuta tembeda to dami ya luko yute sasa nyi sawundi nola dola butu tembo isifutu nole.
At this time, do we have any mechanism that determines people's levels that can marry without any fear of transmission?
Between temben follow a jora will be carrying the many along ko saitan din na loko nyim mario lo sifutu nole satara jankaro nyin itel temo do sawundi no lala fo was a keno le tembo mandabal.
And if so, what percentage of the total people that we have encountered are qualified to marry without risk?
Sayo to Musa fono many alon ko iba ko nyin kono musi ayiriko jelle fono many alon ko isifutuno satara e iteltamo do sawuno la nyin jankarola.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. That question is important. It's one of the areas that you are taking through into what we call best sexual practices.
Willem Fanati, Yemen Mamanditenka, Fufana Mayanko, Futuno ma Saharima, Bunda Saharimo.
As I said earlier, this HIV is largely contracted or transmitted through unprotected sexual intercourse with an infected person or persons.
Nafanun jam komando ko, nying jam kari kesolu, ala sawuno, akataria nyemen tarinke, wole musulunke la kafunyomo, satara nyimo fululu, jankaro bekilina alu imo fululu momondi me fantankandi, purika na nying jankari keso soto.
Part of the process is if a man is found to be HIV positive, he is given the opportunity to invite in the sexual partner or partners, wives, and children to be offered the opportunity to be tested.
Ning atatajeko, ning jankar keso bemenna kewolemu, woto ikanyi silo dialale, puro ala muso wala ni muso kilintabulu ala musolu wala akuke nyolu, kata adimulu, menu dimbaya kotamulu si kumandi, nyim kamako, isite kotobo, puro isalo ulfanalbe tembedi jumalutu.
If, for example, a partner or partners have been found HIV positive, plus the index, there is a guidance on what we call safer sex practices.
Ni tata ko afutunyo malu ulfanalu njankaro belale uto fere do fanan bijele ikafome yanko futunya tankaringo ikawo silolu fanalu tamandile ka itandila.
With the event of both of them being found HIV positive and both of them have agreed to be initiated on ART, The principal guidance here is for them to remain and maintain adherence and continue safer sex practices.
Ning itatara ko musoning kewning anyim futunyo malboying kula musotole woto hanimbi ikanyi silole itandila pour itel mariolu nyanta silo mentala pour si continue futuo la bari satara ibe silole letala meyalonko wolem futunyo ma tankari siloluti ibe londila silole le kan satara jankaro nyina wajabote tambila wala.
The principal guidance is to remain preferably 95% adherent to treatment. Therefore, you will be suppressed. You will be unlikely to transmit HIV, and you will have a very successful matrimonial life or a sexual relationship with your partner or partners. And it will be unlikely if a child is conceived, that child or the mother, the unborn child's mother, will also be continuing ARV. That will prevent the mother transmitting the infection to the baby.
Sayen ni akatawonya ikaw fero le tamandi yin kammala alla jankare keso kana lafa isaji alisitu tembe dato tembo me yalonko jankaro nyin ko ya funya min futunyo ma tankarin silolu alweta mala wollela ninga tata ke wonya fanan hanifo musonyin anatana harjo soto kono ibajala ko nin ko lutamata wonya hanin bi dingume yalonko muso harje tala wonya wo makoyro wo fero lumenu tamata wonya akaw dindimu fana makoyle saje bañi fanante jankar kesolu dila dindimu nyinna ne misali kama dindimu nyinte jankar kesolu soton nola awulula lu bala me yalonko asinaka dindimu nyim fana ye kurawti bari fali bula wo silolu noma melmu wo tankaran siloluti melno be atelu be makoyla isaje al sitara futuo kono al salla futuo tentendi satara fanan alte modo sawna alte no sawna andu nali dim soto kono fan dindimu nyinte jankaro nyi sotola.
Mr. Witness, still you are a bit less my point. What I'm saying is, do we have anything that helps us determine that we have reached a level that we can safely marry, reproduce children that will not be affected by the HIV? If we don't, because what we have learned from some other testimonies is that if your viral load is at 0, and it's maintained at 0 because you have strictly adhered to treatment and so on, you could marry and you will not transmit the disease. That's why I'm asking, like in that case, in fact, it can even have some form of certification. Pending you adhere, at this level, you can marry safely without transmission. I'm not sure whether we have attained that level. And if we do, for example, my second part of the question is, what percent of the patients have attained that level?
Ninka ba munta dasata jabro nyin adasata do wando wala min tinka ba nyininka fodum mu futata tembo to le jang tembo me yalon ko nyimmo lu men yalon ko nyin sasa soto itata le han fo futata tembo do wala ni jankar keso nyi tataje ko silang afutata tembo le to me yalon ko a fayda adango do yata wala bante jato ko no silang itamari famo o tembo isi futu nole andu ni futu tawnya fanan satara isi jido sotonole jido me yalon ko yo dindulu ita jankar keso sotonnola wala nyinti ko fon futata tembo to le bangum bankun kan anin fanan natara mu futata o tembe dato mo sa yirikano ko mo jellebe kering men yalon ko futata o makamo to nyim banko kan fo aselonno le bang womo nangamo lu men yalon ko isi futuno ite jankaro ni sawnola mo dolula dolu ta sotonno le bala handum hani fanadu ludin ite sawnola fon futata tembo to le min futata jele mo yiriko jelle be kering keme percentage ni keme mo jelle be wo tembo to nyim banko kan.
Yes, Commissioner, sorry if I have deviated from what you wanted specifically.
Isi haka tunatala ila nyini nkaro ila damen ko yafute manfuta jema.
In the process of enrolling you and overseeing your care is a process of trying to enlighten you at each opportunity, at each visit as an opportunity, you are reminded how HIV is acquired, how it is transmitted, and how it is not transmitted.
Sai ni maribo tembedato. Ntelka menta mandi wole mnyinti. Ibe tembo menton ka koindi mari fungwale lew. Andu iska nyimfala mfayenne. Nyinjan karo. Nibe nyimkokono. Isi modolu sawu nyadile. Aning ite modolu sawu na nyamen. Aning falang ite mari nyanta kulu menu tamandila mensi ke tankadati. Ite mari la kulu kono ini molu meni alonko. Alnibe kukiling. Nka ulubeko indi ite mari male puru ite fo salon inyante fo la kulu sambala nyami ube nka besa te mari yenne ila na wona pour kana intelligent na jaral dinkirato.
One of the areas is certainly naturally sexual and reproductive areas. And
Fanga kuma kilimbiji wole mnyinti ko futu anin jido la jata kende ya silolu anin
in HIV nationally, I can't remember the exact figure, but we have, some people will say it's not a good number, but it's a good number. We are trying. We are about 50% or a little bit less suppressed persons who are receiving antiretroviral therapy nationally. So we nationally have a suppression of about 50%. A little bit less. These persons are immunosuppressed to a level that their level of transmissibility of the virus is significantly reduced.
Sai ne ajube mbe tambo mento amanko mak fer ko nyinum bari ni ayir kan sa fono banko kanjang ni ayir ka kemola woto sidula tallulo e mo sa fono ko wulula jankar keso na jitale hanfo afutata tembe dato mi yalon ko wulamo do sawno abe koleyala bakele wala ate kenola bitun mosafo no mbe tembola to folo ni ayir ka kemola sidula tallulo mosafo no ko wulbe kerin ni banko kammen yalon ko te jankaro ni sawndino la dolla.
If you were going to express the wish to get married or to get a child, we advise that you come with your partner or partners and you are taken through a process of counseling and preparation in conjunction with your partner's reproductive issues, and that you are prepared and you are advised with the results in hand, including viral load. You are told, you are advised, this will be the best period where you will be unlikely to transmit or acquire an infection from your partner. With all these sexual, safer sex practices involved.
Saying, nin amari dunata afuta watembo ayaje ko alafta futu walale. Menka ke wala minti atemari nan alamnomo wala la muso anole kana ntoliya barbu ni binala inila fansede ya kaitolu be kanale ni futa tamma ntelisila kulu senkan jube nin ayatara ikafome viral load wolemu ila jankar keso yiriko abe tembe dato meya lonko abe dama fisiata le nyin abe tembo mento ata modoso no la wala ala kulu fisiata baba bakele bitu kan atel mo fululu misali yamari makolu yitandi yalla tankaran silolu atel fanali nyanta mentala pour nyin kamala wairi al futole bali tema alinyanta kala nyamin satara alla jankaro nyin ata wajabila katambo dato amarino ise kutamandino le futole.
Thank you very much, Doctor. It seems you have now relieved me a lot, saying that upon the determination of the viral load. So it means we have a mechanism that could help us measure viral load to determine that threshold level.
Doctor, yemma ko back. Kato sila munta sai senni jino. Munta sila yirko makamo ko keri dama yalon ko. Nsinyim kotobono kalong nyimari la jankar keso yirko be tembeda mento kotubabul kafa me viral load. Amunta silang wo dinkira wo makamo wo sotontale me yalon ko asijubeno nyin jang.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you very much.
Inumbara.
If there are no other questions by the commissioners, Mr. Witness, would you want to make your final statement, please?
Ninyi kardo menkeno sedo. Bitum ifana inyante la kacha menkela puruka sedaro kumfa. Sa ifana sitente hiyo kumakamalufu.
Well, I wish to express my sincere gratitude for the invitation.
Fula mbejairo ni kontondro dila. Puru yam kumandi men na purkana kachajang.
It has been challenging as a practitioner and a provider, and also to be invited to here where I had some trepidations certainly and some challenges of publicly testifying.
Akatanye kutime ya lonko follow ayense wonsafon se wata bak ayenji sola bar kulo me ya lonko follow alafta kala mun kono yati alafta ko kala mun kuti fana me ya lonko alafta murundi la komo wala kansila ndi aka fula dundinto bar bitum anata la nyami wari ngakole ya kulijiye bar bitum na kolo nata nyamin akitanye jusulati anin hakil tanku sayin kulu nata bonyoto nyamin.
I wish those who were misled would never fall into such a trap again, not so for better use of the word trap, because it affected their health significantly, retarded or worsened their disease progression, and I hope we will, as a country, will never undergo such an incident or episode where most or some of those vulnerable persons are being deterred from the most proven and better outcome management than being pushed into something that at some point had adverse outcomes for their health.
Betul amolu mani alonko nyinko ketela mbejikila ko tumandolu nyinyon ko atekelela koteke kato nyinketa nyayele ndilangoneti anin hakili bulandilango ko nyimukuleti me alonko men ketaten aketa menula silang ite sonna pour moye murundi ke dundi nyin ku fasulu kono andu fanan asike kuti me yalon ko anyo kana sayin kan nyin bankun kan anyon kana kijang kotake wulu kulleti men yalon ko aketanye hakilitu tukuluti nyin banko kan me yalon kon sen hakilitu to kana sayi ku fasulu kan silang sako aketam menula amunta aketeye ne ronin filindirolti.
Basically, that's what I have. Thank you very much. I appreciate it for the process through which I've been taken through, and to say what I know about the alternative therapy.
Nsewa tabake mbesai la koteke kal numbara kali jai aketanye hakili tenkuti pour que muruna njang kadiamu ngamen long purna wo fo wari nadu ko keta o jararo silolti men tambita ni men keta ngamen sede purna itandi woto silang aketa nyense woto mbali jayla mbal mumbarala pour ka nyin silo dinna ngana jang ngani ndiamu ke woto mbali mumbara ala baraka.
Madam Chair, before the witness is discharged, may I ask that the protected information sheet be admitted as Exhibit 156.
Thank you. Request granted. We now have come to the end of the session, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank the witness for coming to testify before the Commission. We are grateful.
Deputy Chair ko nyinkita sewo tiwairi CDRO itala karola mfutata ala notale woto aketa sewo ti atanin commission be pour que inumbara ke jay yi wakilo ni sino menta kana CDRO la jang.
We will now take our lunch break. Lead counsel, when do we come back?
3 o'clock, Madam Chair.
Okay. We resume at 3 o'clock. Thank you very much, everyone, for your patience. Thank you. 3 o'clock. Hello? Norman?
Attention.